Hello, hello. It doesn't really work for good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon. It sounds a bit different. Oh my goodness. I'm back. I'm back. I did not think that I would be back, but I am, and I'm so happy to be back. Just one second. I'm so happy to be back. Of course, I'm sad that it means I'm back because people aren't at school, but I'm happy that I can help. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your lovely messages on Instagram, your lovely messages on YouTube, saying how excited you were. And I am as excited as you were. And it looks like Matilda's just as excited. I had to get her out of my school cupboard yesterday. So, as always, we'll give people a couple of minutes to join. So while people are joining, I will say hello to some of the people I can see. I'm going to say hello to Noah. I can see Noah, you are watching. Hello to Zoe and your sister. Hello, hello. Let's see who else we have. Who else is joining us? If you want to shout out, just let me know. Hello, Faith Joy. Nice to see you watching. Good afternoon, Gabriel. Nice to see you watching. I'm sure Romy's watching, so hello, Romy. Nice to see you. Well, you can see me. I can't see you, but I can imagine that you are there watching. So I'm going to do 3:30. I'm going to try and do it every day. It is super duper busy being a teacher in this second lockdown. I was super busy in the first one, but this one I'm even busier. So really crazy times. But I will try and do 3:30 for the little ones and 4:10 for our chapter book. Good afternoon, David. Nice to see you. So once it's 35 past, we will begin. And as always, we're going to begin with some poems, and then we'll go on to some stories that I have chosen for today. I have got a few new picture books. So some of the picture books will be new, but probably a lot of them are going to be the ones that we had read before. Okay, so I think we've got lots of people. So I think we'll start very soon. So I wonder how everybody is. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is happy. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and Happy New Year. Oh yeah, Happy New Year. It's been almost, I think, 6 months or over 6 months since you last saw me live. So nice to see you. Good afternoon, Ava. Good afternoon, Ava and Anthony. Oh, you're saying hi to Ava. Well, I'm not sure which Ava that is. Okay, so we'll just wait one more minute and then we will begin. I can't remember if when I was on Instagram, did I have I think I had the phone the other way. I don't know. Yeah, yes, Ava from yoga. Nice to see you. Nice to have you. And your little brother. Oh, that's so lovely to have you. Hello, Miss McCarran and Miss Doherty. Maybe, Miss McCarran and Miss Doherty, I'm going to call you on here for a joint story time one day. We do love joint story time, don't we? We used to love Miss Lockney on here. The days that I was in school, she would have my back and do some stories. So I would love to have more teachers. That would be nice and fun, especially my Key Stage 1 teachers, because I think their children would love to see them reading stories. Okay, so I think let's begin. I think it's time to begin. So we're going to begin with a poem from my favourite poetry book, and that's 100 Best Poems. This is a book I bought when I was just becoming a teacher, so it's a very special book for me. And let's start with November Night Countdown. 10 fat sausages sizzling in the fire, 9 fiery flames reaching ever higher, 8 jumping jacks leaping on the ground, 7 silver silver sparklers whirling round and round, 6 golden fountains fizzing in the dark, 5 red rockets whizzing across the park, 4 bright Catherine wheels spinning on the gate, 3 wide-eyed children allowed out very late, 2 proud parents watching all the games, one lonely guy roasting in the flames. And that will probably be Guy Fawkes roasting in the flames. And that's by Moira Andrew. And let's do one from this book, which I've brought home, and it's Heard It in the Playground. Let's see if we can find one. These are poems all about school. Let's read on this. Not too long. It's so nice to see so many of you from before here. It's really nice to see you. The answer. This is called The Answer. We're looking for the answer. We're searching high and low. We're doing what we can, sir. We really want to know. We've ransacked desks and drawers, sir, basket, bowl and bin. We've scrutinised the floor, sir. You couldn't hide a pin. We've been out on the street, sir. We've been up on the roof. And even when we cheat, sir, the questions answer proof. We've cudgelled all our brains, sir, and still we're in the dark. Got nothing for our pains, sir, except a question mark. We've thought ourselves to death, sir, with what and where's and whose. We're beat and out of breath, sir. So how about a clue? The teacher tapped his forehead. At last, the children cried. The answer, sir, it's in your head. What a perfect place to hide. That's a funny one. Okay, so we're going to start with our first picture book of today. And this is a new one. I definitely haven't read this with you because I bought this during the lockdown, just before I stopped doing the lives. So the first picture book for today is, and I do think I'm going to turn my camera for, is that better? For Instagram, so you can see the book. The first book today is Mr. Large in Charge. That rhymes, large and charge. Mr. Large in Charge by Jill Murphy. Oh, I feel like I haven't read one of these in ages. I've got a very grown-up class now. Mrs. Large opened one eye and peered out at the morning. She forced open the other eye, dragged herself out of bed, and set off downstairs to the kitchen, where Mr. Large had kindly started the children on their breakfast. Very kind of Mr. Large to start the breakfast. Miss Large is having a bit of a lie-in. Mummies deserve lie-ins. You look ghastly, dear, said Mr. Large. Don't say that to Mummy, said Laura indignantly. Mummy looks beautiful, exclaimed Lester. Boo-fool, Mummy, cooed the baby. Yes, of course Mummy's beautiful, said Mr. Large. I meant she doesn't look very well. Are you feeling all right, dear? Thank you for the emojis, Noah. Loving them. As a matter of fact, I don't feel too good, admitted Mrs. Large, but I was going to take them all to the park later on. Then there's the shopping and the lunch. And there's, oh my gosh, she's got so much to do, doesn't she? Well, you don't have to worry about any of that, said Mr. Large. It's the weekend, so I'm in charge. Go on, back to bed with you. We'll take care of everything, won't we, kids? You bet, yelled Lester. Mrs. Large trudged back upstairs, clutching a nice hot water bottle, and sank back into bed, which was still warm. What a treat, she said. Downstairs, Mr. Large was organising his troops. Right, men, he commanded. We're not all men, said Laura. Oh, you know what I mean, said Mr. Large. Well, troops then, all right? I'll take the worst task. That's the washing up. Lester, you can tackle the hoovering. Luke, picking things up off the floor. Laura and the baby, general dusting and cushion plumping. Quick march. 1, 2, 1, 2, off you go. Mr. Large turned on the radio. found a jolly tune to cheer everyone along, and soon they were all busy with their tasks. They're all doing the cleaning. Well done, the Large family. Upstairs, Mrs. Large was jolted back from the brink of sleep by the astonishing amount of noise blasting up through the floorboards. She listened anxiously for a while, but could soon tell they were mostly happy noises, so she wedged a pillow round her ears and decided to ignore it. Mrs. Large had just drifted off to sleep when she was rudely awoken by the baby, who was giving her a thorough dusting. "Sorry, Mum," yelled Laura, rushing in and grabbing the baby. The baby began to scream and hung on to the bedclothes so that they both fell over backwards. "Oh no, she wants her mummy." "This isn't proving very restful, Laura," said Mrs. Large crossly as Laura disentangled herself from the baby and attempted to bundle the bedclothes back onto the bed. "Mummy, Huggy," screamed the baby. "Want my mummy, big Huggy now." Laura stuffed the baby under her arm and wrestled her out of the door. "Don't worry, Mum," she called as she closed the door behind them. "I'll take her down to Dad." Don't want Dad," bellowed the baby. "Want Mum, want my mummy." Mrs. Large rearranged the mangled bedclothes and snuggled down, feeling decidedly jangled. Suddenly, there was an almighty crunch from downstairs, and the Hoover stopped abruptly. The bedroom door opened, and Lester looked in. "It's all right, Mum," he reassured her. "Nothing broke. It just sounded bad." Luke's head peered round Lester's knees. "That's right, Mum," he agreed. "Nothing to worry about. You just go back to sleep. Everything's under control." It doesn't sound like it is. Mrs. Large was finally dropping off when Mr. Large crashed open the door. "We're all off to the park now, dear," he announced. "We'll get the shopping on the way home, then we can bring you up a nice lunch." "Thank you, dear," said Mrs. Large. "I'm having a lovely rest." Mr. Large beamed and blew his wife a kiss as he backed out of the room, closing the door very quietly. At last, Mrs. Large dozed off. What seemed like 5 minutes later, she was woken by a smell of burning. Just then, Laura put her head round the door. "Dad says not to worry about the smell," she said. "He's getting the lunch and he wants to know if you'd like some." "What exactly is it?" asked Mrs. Large nervously. "Well," said Laura, "it was something in a special sauce, but Dad just had a little look at the football on TV. Well, it was actually quite a long look. So now it's cheese sandwiches." "Oh dear," Mr. Large. "I think I'll carry on sleeping, thank you, dear," said Mrs. Large. "Perhaps I could join in at tea time." "Righto," said Laura, slamming the door as she rushed off to tell her dad. Slamming the door. That poor mummy's not really getting any rest, is she? Mrs. Large closed her eyes and tried to relax. What seemed like 3 seconds later, the door crashed open again, and all the children came charging in. "We're going to play football with Dad," yelled Lester. "In the garden," said Luke. "Now," said the baby. "Are you feeling a bit better?" asked Laura. "Mummy better?" asked Baby. "Big Huggy?" "A bit better," said Mrs. Large. "You go and have fun with Daddy, and perhaps I'll be all right later on." "Big, big Huggy," wept the baby as Lester scooped her up and carried her out. "Big Huggy, Mummy, now," said Laura. She loves football once she gets going. "Don't worry, Mummy." The door slammed shut for the 100th time. Mrs. Large winced and slithered down under the covers. Joyful sounds came drifting in from the garden, and Mrs. Large smiled contently. She smiled happily, and they're all playing in the garden. 5 minutes later, Lester burst into the bedroom. "Dad says, where are the bandages?" he yelled. "Don't worry, Mum, it's not the baby. Dad tripped over the rake." "They're on top of the bathroom cabinet," said Mrs. Large quite weakly. She's not really feeling better. After a while, the door opened again, and Mr. Large came in carrying a tray laden with tea and cakes. The children sneaked in behind him and lurked. The baby didn't lurk for long. She climbed grimly onto the bed and clasped her mother round the neck. "Big huggy," she crooned. "Everyone out," ordered Mr. Large. "Let Mummy have her rest now. She's not well today." Mrs. Large heaved herself into a sitting position and patted the covers. "That's all right, dear," she said. "I've had a very long, restful day, and I'm feeling much better now. Why don't you all join me for tea?" "Well, if you're sure," said Mr. Large, and everyone piled onto the bed to tell Mrs. Large all about the day she'd missed. Has she actually missed the day, or has she been listening to the whole day? The end. Poor Mrs. Large. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. And that was Mr. Large in Charge by Jill Murphy. And our next book for today is, let's go for Rumble in the Jungle. I love this book. And I also like to, sometimes when I read it, do it to the sound of a drum. But maybe not today. I don't have a drum on me. Let's go. Rumble in the Jungle. There's a rumble in the jungle. There's a whisper in the trees. The animals are waking up and rustling the leaves. The hippos at the waterhole, the leopards in his lair, the chimpanzees are chattering and swinging everywhere. Some animals are frightening and some are sweet and kind. So let's go to the jungle now and see who we can find. Who can you see so far in the pictures? It's a bit pixelated today. It's probably the light. Story time is probably better in the mornings. Chimpanzee. It's great to be a chimpanzee swinging in the trees. And if we can't find nuts to eat, we munch each other's fleas. Lion. The lion's the king of the jungle. Just listen how loudly he roars. Every animal quivers and shudders and shivers as soon as he opens his jaws. Oh, he's going to eat that bird. Elephant. It's great to be an elephant, all big and fat and round, and wander through the jungle, just elephanting around, or elephing around. The zebra. I could have been grey like a donkey, or brown like my cousin the mule, but instead I've got stripes, which my lady friend likes, as they make me look handsome and cool. Oh, we've got the snake. The boa constrictor's a slippery snake who slithers and slides round his tree, and when tasty animals wander too close, he squashes them slowly for tea. Some animals, Bex is the giraffe. Some animals laugh at the gangly giraffe, but I hold my head up and feel proud. I really don't care when my head's in the air and my cheeks getting kissed by a cloud. And most of these little poems are like limericks, aren't they? Hippopotamus. Hello, I'm a big happy hippo. I sleep in the sun to get hot, and when I'm not sleeping, I mooch in the mud, which hippos like doing a lot. Mooching in the mud, like chilling in the mud. A crocodile. Snap, snap, snap. It's a crocodile. When animals come to the river to drink, I watch for a minute or two. It's such a delight to behold such a sight that I can't resist chomping a few. I don't think he's going to chomp the hippo. The hippo is very strong. Rhinoceros. I actually really love rhinoceroses. The ravenous rhino is big, strong, and tough, but his skin is all baggy and flappy, which means that there's plenty of room for his lunch, and that makes him terribly happy. The gazelle. No one can run half as quickly as me, the galloping, gorgeous gazelle. I can leap up so high that my horns touch the sky, and I'm awfully pretty as well. The gorilla. Can you thud your chest like a gorilla? The gorilla is big, black and hairy, and the thing that he likes to do best is to look all ferocious and scary and wallop his giant great chest. Well, he's very strong, the gorilla. Are you strong like a gorilla? The leopard. If you meet a hungry leopard prowling through the night, make sure you call him sir and be incredibly polite. And then there's the tiger. Can you see the tiger? Beware of the terrible tiger. You don't always know when he's near, but his eyes shine like lights through the blackest of nights, and his growl makes you tremble with fear. Grrr. I don't know if that was a tremble or a growl. The night has started falling, but the jungle never sleeps. The vultures circle slowly while the leopard softly creeps. And if you listen quietly, you might just hear the growl of a hungry pair of panthers who are still out on the prowl. The lions and their little cubs are sleeping in their den, so let's leave them till tomorrow when we'll visit them again. And that was the end of that story. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that was Rumble in the Jungle. I had a story planned next, but I'm not sure we're going to have enough time for it. I'm just going to go and grab a shorter story. Let me just grab a shorter one. That was longer than I thought it would be. And maybe tomorrow we will do a longer one. Oh, I don't think I have a shorter one. All my stories are quite long. Maybe we'll read a couple more poems before we go. So, I wonder, from Rumble in the Jungle, which animal was your favourite? Let's have a look at some of the animals we saw. Was your favourite the elephant? I know Miss Lockley, my friend, that's her favourite animal. Was your favourite the giraffe or even the snake? Or did you like, I really like, very cute. Oh, do you know, I hadn't even noticed that. The gorilla, who is actually with the baby gorilla, which is very cute. I hadn't noticed that. Right, let's go for a few more poems before we say goodbye. So let's go for another one. Let's go for not one that's too crazy. Heard it in the playground. Anthony, you like the snake, and Ava, you like the lion. Fantastic. Heard it in the playground. Heard it in. Heard it in the play. Heard it in the playground. The playground. The playground. The play. The play. The playground. The playground. The play. The play. Heard it in the playground. Heard it in. Heard it in. Heard it in the playground. Heard it in. Heard it in the playground. Pass it to me. Pass it to me. Heard it in the playground. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, I wonder what game they're playing. Heard it in the playground. Give me my ball back. Give me my ball back. Telling on you. Heard it in the playground. Telling on you. Heard it in the playground. No, I never. No, I never. Heard it in the playground. Yes, you did. Heard it in the playground. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Give me my ball back. Pass it to me. Pass it to me. Heard it in the playground. Telling on you. Heard it in the playground. Who likes bubblegum? Heard it in the playground. Me, me, me. Heard it in the playground. Bang, you're dead. Heard it in the playground. Promise not to tell. Promise not to laugh. See this wet and see it dry. Cross your heart and hope to die. Heard it in the playground. Shikaboom, shikaboom. Heard it in the playground. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me, me, me. Bang, bang, bang. Shoot, shoot, shoot. My goodness, all those things you might hear in the playground. Heard it in the playground. 1 potato, 2 potato. Heard in the playground. 3 potato, 4. Heard it in the playground. 5 potato, 6 potato. Heard in the playground. Can you finish this one off? 7 potato more. Eeny, meeny. Heard in the playground, meeny, miny, mo. Heard in the playground, please, sir, heard in the playground, miss, miss, my turn, his turn, her turn, our turn, their turn, that's not fair. Heard in the playground, that's not fair. I had £1 for every time I heard that. Heard in the playground, my dad says. Heard in the playground, my mum says. Heard in the playground, dad says, mum said. Cousin in the country says. Uncle in the navy says. Auntie in the army says. Auntie in the army says. Heard us in the playground, who says? Who says? Heard in the playground, says who? That was a bit, oh my gosh, there's more. Heard it in the playground. Oh my goodness, there's loads of pages. I might have to stop halfway through. Heard it in the playground. Quality, quality. Heard in the playground. Skill, skill, skill. Ace, nice, neat. Acey, neaty. Fabby, dabby, dooby. Mega, mega, mega. Mega, dabby, dooby. Dooby, dooby, dooby. Acey, dooby. Acey, quality. Brill, brill, brill. Skill, skill, skill. Brill, skill, brill. Heard in the playground. Wicked. Heard it in the playground. Dog in the playground. Heard it in the playground. We'll catch him, miss. Leave it to us. Just watch this. Dog in the playground. Heard it in the playground. Dog in the playground. Woof, woof, woof. Do you know what? Maybe we'll finish that poem next time. That's quite a long poem. Thank you so much for joining my first story time of our second lockdown in London. It was so nice to see so many of you here today. And I'm sure maybe tomorrow we'll have even more of you when you find out that we're back on. Remember, I love taking any requests for any books that you really enjoyed in the past. I like saying hello to everybody who joins us. So thank you so much for listening. As always, stay safe. And this time again, stay home, stay safe, and stay positive. Sending you lots of love and positive energy. See you again tomorrow at 3:30. Or if you are in Key Stage 2, I'll see you in 10 minutes at 4. Nice to see everybody. See you later. Lots of love, everybody. See you soon. See you tomorrow.